Good morning from a night at the stables.
Early morning coffee edition.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Because I'm too pretty to work. That's such I work harder here than I ever worked in my life. This morning, we wanted to introduce the SAFE Act. SAFE as in S.A.F.E, which stands for Saving America's Forgotten Equine. So, as we discussed on our last podcast, basically it's the government trying to pass a bill that would stop the shipment of horses for human consumption. Um, Personally, I'm against the act, and I have reasons. Had you asked me before I had started my rescue, I would have been all for it. But being a rescue, I am absolutely not for the SAFE Act, and I will tell you my reasons shortly. Your thoughts on this?
My thoughts? Well, I'm same way. I'm not necessarily all for the SAFE Act. I can see why they're doing it for the human consumption portion of it because we pump our horses so full of medications that humans technically can't have. But again, I'm not all for it just because the once the SAFE Act goes into place and these horses can't get shipped, we're going to have a giant overpopulation of horses. Where are these horses going to go?
Exactly.
And it's sad to say that I don't necessarily agree with slaughtering horses for no reason, but
the sign agrees too.
but at the same time, oh my gosh,
it wants out.
It's morning, everybody. It's morning.
Oh my goodness. If this bill passes, there aren't enough horse rescues in the nation that can absorb the amount of horses that will become homeless.
I mean, right now, all the rescues are already full, and
yeah.
it's not even in place.
So right now there's no horse transport because of the new world screw worm
There you go.
situation that's going on in Mexico, which is sickening in itself. I'm praying to God they get that under control. So there has been a case in New Mexico, and we're right next to New Mexico.
Yeah, I think Texas too, right?
Yeah. So it started in Texas. Texas was the first one, and then a dog was found to have it in New Mexico. And they're sitting there going, the people never went to Mexico. They don't know how this screwworm got to New Mexico. I don't know. When I travel around, I bring flies everywhere. They just hitch rides inside my cab.
You leave your window down for 2 seconds and you have a whole swarm of flies in your vehicle. Happens to me all the time.
Yeah, so I'm sure that is how the fly got transported. Somebody else brought it and it just found that dog. I am going to read the SAFE Act so everybody has a clear understanding of what this is. And we did learn some other stuff when we were going over this. But basically, it was introduced to the House in the 27th of February last year. It's the Save America's Forgotten Equine Act of 2025. The bill permanently prohibits the slaughter of equines, that's horses and mules and donkeys, for human consumption. Current law prohibits the slaughter of dogs and cats for human consumption. I did not know that we had a bill on the books for that. Did you?
No, I did not know
But
that.
it was good to learn. The bill extends to the prohibition of equines now. Specifically, the bill prohibits persons from knowingly slaughtering an equine for human consumption, shipping, transporting, processing, purchasing, selling, or donating an equine to be slaughtered for human consumption, or equine parts for human consumption. The bill subjects a violator to a fine. Now, keep in mind, we haven't gotten to this point yet, but they completely left the door wide open.
Yep.
The bill applies to conduct in or affecting interstate or foreign commerce or within the special maritime and territorial jurisdiction of the United States. However, it does not apply to an activity carried out by an Indian for a religious ceremony. As background, in recent years, the Appropriations Act have prohibited the Department of Agriculture, the USDA, from using federal funds to inspect horses before they are slaughtered for human consumption. Therefore, there are currently no USDA inspected horse slaughter facilities in the United States. So,
Which we've known that for a
yes,
while now.
horse slaughter facilities have been closed down for decades.
Mm-hmm. I think the last open one was in 2007.
No, I think it was 1980. That was Canada. I think it was. Hold on, Google it while we're talking.
Yeah.
People are going to find loopholes, and it's sad. Horses are considered tools and property, and having this rescue. So I enjoy eating meat, but I have cows and I had goats and I have pigs and my horses, my donkeys. I could not imagine eating any of them.
Mm-mm.
And as long as I can buy the beef somewhere else, I'm good.
Well, and I mean, we were talking about it this morning before we started the video that even if the world ended, it'd be so hard to want to eat because they're companions, they're your partner.
They are. They have so much love. I mean, there are some rank horses out there.
Mhm.
I will totally admit to that because I've come across a few in my lifetime. There are some very rank horses that I promise it's true. We'll just put this over here for now. This horse crossing. I might be able to put that horse down, but I still don't think I could eat it just because of my love for the animal.
Yeah.
They're such a beautiful, strong animal. And if you've never ridden a horse, I used to jump, and it was like flying. The freedom you felt when you feel this power beneath you because you can feel their muscles, and then the surge as you go over the jumps and the wind in your face and the trust of this animal underneath you. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, and it's so hard to because if you told that to a non-horse person, they would never understand. So it's so hard to fully understand what kind of relationship we have with our horses.
So, I mean, I hear about people eating horses all the time. I would never put any of the meat of any of our horses in my mouth. I know what chemicals I put in these horses. All of them are known carcinogens, especially bute. Bute, once you give a horse bute, you're done. It gets in the bones. How many dog food recalls have they been?
Hundreds.
And for euthanasia drugs. And you've got to think about that. I mean, I've known since I was a child that horse meat goes into dog food. And I used to tell my mom, because I'd look at the cans of dog food, because it used to have big chunks of horse meat. Now the dog food's garbage. But it had big chunks of horse meat in it, and it said equine on the back label. The bute is stored in their bones. There's dexamethasone. Am I saying it? Dex? It's Dex. It's a steroid that is commonly used for horses. I have Walker at my last farm. We had some kind of tree, and every fall that boy would get hives and lose all his hair. By November, he was bald.
Yeah.
I have some horrible pictures of him. So we had Dex, and as soon as I started to see the hives popping out, he'd start getting the steroid to try and maintain some of his coat. We could never figure out what was going on. Benadryl didn't work, nothing. Then we move out here, and it's never happened. So it had to be a tree.
Yeah.
It had to be a tree, because I have no trees here.
Yeah. Like we talked about, stupid bug. Like we talked about in the last video, there's like 2 trees on your property.
Well, my lilac bush, and then that ash, whatever it is.
I don't know what kind of tree that is. I think
and
then the tree that you cannot see that's over that way, and that's about it. Everything else is like
my shaggy pork.
Is like a bush. It's technically a tree, but it's not tall enough to be a tree, so it's just a bush.
Well, and I've got big tumbleweed bushes.
Yeah. And
if anybody wants to order tumbleweeds, I can get them picked for you.
$10 a round.
$10 and I'll ship it to you.
Yeah.
Freaking tumbleweeds everywhere. They should film a Western show out here.
They should.
Especially after that dust bowl we had 4 days ago.
So in Arizona, we call dust storms haboobs. If you guys didn't know that, Arizona calls them haboobs. And normally they're in like Phoenix area. You never really see them too much up here. But I swear we were in the middle of a haboob all day that day.
We
It
were
was
hiding in the
terrible.
stalls.
Yeah, and we were still getting sandblasted in the stalls.
Oh, my neck hurt by the end of the night.
Well, and I had sunburns on my shoulders, and because of how windy it was, the sand was getting in my shirt, so it was like grinding on my sunburn. Oh my god, it hurt so bad.
It was a bad day. It was, and that, thank God we had so many volunteers show up. That was amazing.
It was. The unfortunate part, I mean, again, like we said, people are gonna find loopholes, you know. Hold on, pause.
Got it. Oh, all right.
But people are gonna find loopholes, you know, about trying to still get these horses shipped to slaughter, but the shipping rates are gonna go down quite a bit, and all these horses are gonna have nowhere to go because I mean, you're gonna have backyard breeders, you're gonna have people who, you know, have these old horses that shouldn't be rehomed because they're old and they've spent their entire lives with their owners, but that's a different topic. But you're going to have all these horses that have nowhere to go. And then again, all these rescues are filled up. So where are they going to go? And then there's going to be no food. There's going to be no food for them. They're going to get skinny. They're going to starve. And that is, I would rather, as sad and shitty as it sounds, I would rather euthanize those horses than let them starve to death because that is so cruel. It is such a cruel way to go out.
If you have had horses that have been with you for years, why would you send them off to a potentially good home, give them away for free, when what could happen is they go to an abusive home, or the person that you gave them to wants to make a quick buck, takes it down to the kill pen for $50, and then it sits in bacteria infested stalls. And I know the kill pens, there are some reputable ones that really do their best to keep contagions down, but it's impossible to completely 100% keep them down because these horses are coming from everywhere. You know, and everybody sits here blaming the kill pens, but it's not the kill pens. It's the people who aren't having their horses vaccinated, who are keeping them in terrible conditions and then bringing all that bacteria with them. I mean, I got, was it back in 2017 when I brought the 7 horses in from Hurricane Harvey? Every single one of them had strangles. Every single one.
Yep. Well, and you know, people have to remember too, like a majority of those horses that do end up in kill pens go through auction 1st, and then you have these kill buyers buy them.
Several auctions.
And so you don't know what got ran through those auctions, and you don't know how the auction houses, you know, how they disinfect. Do they disinfect? You know, there, like she said, there are some reputable kill pens and there are some reputable auction houses, but not every one of them is reputable. So you don't know how they disinfect. You don't know if they keep their back areas clean. You never know.
Well, you have to look. So some of the pictures of Sprout that I have in there when he was a 1-week-old baby.
Oh God, the pens were awful.
That was Stanley Brothers in Louisiana. That is one of the filthiest kill pens I've ever been to. And I don't think they can ship anymore. I don't know. There was some big thing a few years ago. I don't know if they still do or not. I haven't seen them on my feed in a long time, but it doesn't mean that they're not doing it. One of the folks that I like working with the best, and everybody hates me for it every time I mention it, but Bowie has a wonderful horse auction every weekend. It's not every weekend. It's the first weekend of every month. So this coming weekend for the 4th of July, they've canceled their auction.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So the next auction will be August 11th, they said.
Oh, okay.
They have gorgeous horses that go through. This last auction that I was watching, they had a ton of horses from the reservation run through. Those horses were selling for $200 a piece. And you know where they're going?
Kill pens.
They're dog food.
Yep.
So those horses were getting picked up. So Bowie is an auction house, but David O'Dwyer owns the auction house, but also has his own kill pen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's it's clean. The last time I was down there, it was very clean when I
Mm-hmm.
picked up those horses. Um, for considering it was a kill pen, it was neat.
Mm-hmm.
All the horses had feed. They all had hay. It wasn't Nobody was starving. Everybody had water buckets. I didn't see any skinny horses, but I wasn't all over their whole
Yeah.
area. I was in the pickup area, but anytime I've worked with him, they've all been wonderful
Mm-hmm.
and forthcoming and honest. And if I was going to, I don't I don't buy from kill pens,
Mm-hmm.
because when you buy from a kill pen, all you're doing is putting more money in their pocket. You need to get these horses at the auction. If you want to save a horse, bid for it at the
Mm-hmm.
auction. I can't seem to get that into people's heads. I mean, it's so these wild horses that sold for $200 are literally listed on his website for $800.
Mm-hmm.
And that's $600 more that he has to invest in more horses.
And that goes for every kill pen. It's not just
It's not just
Bowie.
Bowie.
It's every kill pen, because the kill pens will have, the kill buyers go and buy, huge amounts of horses to take to the kill pens,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's when people want to start saving these horses. But and for everyone that's, an activist for the safe act, so they don't get shipped to slaughter, stop it from the start. Stop it at the auction. If
Yeah.
you want to stop these kill buyers, stop getting them from the kill pens. Get them at the auction.
If you have an old horse and you don't know what to do with it and you want to send it off to a rescue or something like that, but then you're like, oh, maybe I'll just send it to auction and somebody will buy it for $25 or $50. Don't
Going
don't
to a kill
And
pen.
it happens. I
Mm-hmm.
have a horse that I paid $25 for. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's the most beautiful horse I have on the farm now,
Well, and I
but
mean, with our local auction house here in
yes.
Holbrook, I watch it. It's every Wednesday. I mean, they canceled today's, but I'm assuming because of the holiday.
Yes, because of the holiday.
But every Wednesday they have. It's primarily a cattle auction. They'll usually do a horse sale once a year.
They have a major horse sale once
Mm-hmm.
a year.
Like a catalog, you could call it a catalog horse sale.
Yeah,
And that's where all
high
your
end.
high end consignment horses are coming in. But people don't realize that every Wednesday at the local auction in Holbrook, they do have horses that get run through. And I mean, last week, or not last week, the week before, when I went in person, they had this cute little 3-year-old filly, went for $25. And then when I watched last week's online, because I couldn't go there in person, two two of their horses went for $1.
$1?
$1.
Well, those horses are sitting in a kill pen somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And right now they can't be shipped,
Mm-hmm.
thankfully, but what happens to them?
So she has two rescues. One is Misty, and then the other one is Moon. Both of them. Well, Misty came in with Sparrow. Sparrow was her little filly that came in. Moon was heavily pregnant when she came in. And that is another thing that would contribute to the overpopulation if the SAFE Act goes into place, because you have all these backyard breeders that just let their studs out and just rebreed these mares over and over, because you have a 72-hour window. So as soon as a filly or colt, whatever, as soon as a foal is born, these mares have a 72-hour window to get rebred. Whether it's a stud mounts them, or someone does artificial insemination, you can rebreed these horses within 72 hours. If you don't rebreed them, then you have to wait, like 6 months for them to be weaned or something.
Yeah, when they start weaning, they'll
And
have
then
their
go back
cycle.
into
They'll start
heat.
cycling again. Yeah.
But that's going to start contributing to this overpopulation, because you have these backyard breeders that just let their studs out. And then not only do you have one horse that is whatever, overpopulated, but now you're going to have two because the mares are pregnant.
I honestly feel that if the government is going to push this bill and activists are going to push this bill and granted, I think it's a great thing and it's a horrible thing at the same time. Um, there needs to be something else in place. We need to be able to offer um, reduced price euthanasia.
Mm-hmm.
Putting a horse down is freaking expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It is a lot of money. If you have an old horse and you want to give him away or send him to auction because you don't want to put him down, call me.
Mm-hmm.
I will help you. I will help cover the euthanasia. I mean, it's ridiculous that we're just shipping these horses off so that you can get a quick $50 in your
Mm-hmm.
pocket or give it to somebody else to make it their problem so that you don't have to put them down or see the horse deceased. I mean, I think the greatest thing you can do for an animal that's been a part of your life for years
Is
is to
euthanize.
offer it, access to the rainbow bridge with your
Mm-hmm.
love versus in an environment they know nothing about,
Yep.
where they haven't been loved, where they haven't been treated, where they haven't had a bond. I have a horse here right now that we have discussed a bit. She's not one of my horses.
Mm-hmm.
She was listed for sale. She was extremely skinny. I was able to talk the person who was selling her into letting us have her. And we've gotten her weight up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
She suffers from severe arthritis. She's 27 years old. She's got an attitude problem and
She's just a mess. I mean, over at the knee, arthritis, possible
Cushing's syndrome.
Cushing's,
And I
like.
mean, she's already getting a winter coat, and we haven't
Mm-hmm.
even hit, well, we're in summer now. We just hit summer, but her
Mm-hmm.
winter coat's growing back already. And, you know, she needs to be put down.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to be given some kindness. So we're letting her have a wonderful summer, spoiling her, letting her run around, do her thing. And this September, before the weather gets too cold and causes her pain,
Mm-hmm.
we will offer her that last bit of kindness and have her euthanized.
When the SAFE Act goes into place, people aren't considering these backyard breeders. And I mean, don't get me wrong, these breeders that do breed these really really nice, quarter horses or whatever it may be, they doesn't mean that they're reputable. Like,
Right.
they constantly breed. Don't get me wrong, there are reputable breeders out there. But again, once the SAFE Act goes into place, where are all these horses going to go? Because the high dollar breeders are going to still keep breeding because that's how they make their money.
And then you've got all the BLM horses being
Oh
rounded up.
gosh, and
Don't get me
that's
started on that. Do we address that today? Geld those guys.
Yeah. So like in Arizona, I don't know about the Salt River horses, but in Heber, they call them the Heber wild horses. Those horses were left over from the
The,
res, because in
the
Heber,
Chidesky fire too.
the rodeo Chetaskai fire, during that time, which I think it happened in '01 or '02 or something, there
Yep.
was a huge fire up in the White Mountains, and I think it was like over 300,000
Yeah.
acres.
100,000
these
acres. Yep.
these horses got let out by their owners because they couldn't they
They couldn't
couldn't
haul them.
go.
They couldn't move
Yeah,
them
they
anywhere.
they couldn't go anywhere, and so they let them out, and either you couldn't find these horses ever again,
Or
or the owners just never went looking
they
for
never
them.
went looking. Yep.
So all these horses out there just keep rebreeding. And so at this point, they're not even wild. I mean, the last wild horse in Heber was years and years ago, way before the rodeo Chetaskai fire.
We're gonna get so much controversy and
Yeah.
kickback on this, but you've got the BLM shooting the mares with birth control,
Mm-hmm.
which is tens of thousands of dollars for each shot, and then you've got to pay the guy in the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
I could get you a couple vets that would cowboy geld the stallions.
Mm-hmm.
If you literally want to reduce the population of these horses,
Go and geld the studs.
you got to start with the studs, because every mare can have one baby a year, maybe two, which is super rare. But every stallion can have a baby for every mare he can come in contact to that can conceive a foal.
Yeah.
And you want to stop the overpopulation, you need to geld the stallions, and the stallions can be proud geld.
Mm-hmm.
You leave the hormones, you just take the ability to rebreed. And I know a lot of the controversy is they're worried about the stallions protecting their herd,
Mm-hmm.
well, they're really not going to lose a lot of that instinct if you proud cut them. You
So
just
when you
drop them, cut
yeah,
them, shoot them full of penicillin, and let
let
them
them go.
go.
Well, and when these people are shooting them with birth control is just like human birth control. It's not 100% guaranteed, and if they shoot them while they're pregnant,
Yep.
that foal will be so deformed and it won't be able to take care of itself. And in the wild, if the mothers are in danger and they can't protect their babies, they're going to leave their babies behind.
Yep.
It's sad, but that's how it works. And then these people are saying, oh well, ever since they started doing birth control, the population has gone down. And what the people don't realize is that these horses have acres upon acres to roam. Just because you see, like, the Salt River,
You might
just
not be
because
seeing all the bands.
yeah, just because you see the horses at the Salt River all the time, these horses travel miles upon miles a day. What, it's like 30 plus miles a day that these horses travel. So they could come back to the Salt River because that's their water source, but doesn't mean they're there all day.
Right.
You could be seeing multiple different herds of horses
Different
come
bands of
in.
horses, yeah.
So you're not always seeing every single foal that gets dropped on the ground. So you may be seeing the ones that are at the river.
And they hide the new ones. The new ones
Mm-hmm.
are hidden.
Mm-hmm.
The day olds and week olds stay
And
hidden.
and these horses can look the same.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you get a bay,
I know.
they all look the same. I
That's why I
mean,
keep
ask
bringing in
her.
bays.
Yeah,
I keep bringing in the bays because then my husband doesn't know. I love you, Greg.
but it's the same thing with the Heber wild horses. I don't know if they started shooting them with birth control or not up here, but same thing, if they start doing it, these horses have hundreds of acres to roam. Doesn't Just because you only see a certain amount of foals every year doesn't mean that they're not somewhere that people can't get to. Unless you are constantly hiking every single day these hundreds of acres, then I can maybe be like, okay, then, if you hike all the acres every day and you count every single foal of every single band of horses,
Mm-hmm.
then I will be like, okay, I'll look
Yeah.
into that's truly how many foals get dropped every year.
Yeah,
But
it's such wasted money. It is such
mm-hmm,
wasted money on this birth control. There are far better ways to do it. And the stallions, if you geld them, they'll still protect their herd. There's so many different
mm-hmm,
bands. I've How many cliques do I have out there? So Rebel's got his girls.
yeah,
Chance has his girls.
and they're all
They're
gelded.
all geldings, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
Romeo has his girls.
But like she said, I guarantee you there are, like, at pretty much almost every horse vet up here in the White Mountains will go ahead and have someone go and trank them. And
Mm-hmm.
then once they go down, these vets will come out, and it's called proud cutting. So when you go geld a horse, it's not just
You don't
taking
take the
the
hormone,
yeah,
the little
there's
above the little hormone sacs that are above
yeah,
the balls.
yeah. But when you geld them, it's not just taking the balls. It's usually when domesticated horses get gelded, they also get that hormone taken out. But when you proud cut, it's you take the balls but you don't take the hormones. So if you just keep doing that, I mean, even there's horses out there where people will geld them later than, like, maybe wait till they're 5 years old or something and then
Mm-hmm.
geld them. They're still going to have that stud mentality,
Oh
even
yeah,
if you take the hormone out or not, because
it does
they've
not go
been
away.
no, because they've been a stud for so long that it's not necessarily the hormone itself, it's their mindset.
Yep.
So even if you waited, which I don't think that you should wait that long, but even if these people, if they're so worried about the studs not, protecting the herd, if they waited a certain amount of years and then geld them, they're still going to have that stud
Well,
mentality.
and even if they want to leave the current stallions the way they are and
Mm-hmm.
just get the foals, any
Mm-hmm.
of the colts that are born, get them gelded.
Mm-hmm.
I'm If you want to cut down the population, there's safer ways to do it. There's less expensive ways to do
Mm-hmm.
it, and I will gladly give my time to do
Mm-hmm.
it. I will help. I'll put my
There's
put my put my money where my mouth is.
mm-hmm.
I will take part in it if we could get something like that going. And there's going to be a lot of you that hate the idea, but I mean, we're sticking hormones and stuff into these mares that,
and we don't even know what it causes because we can't get close enough. Well, the Heber wild horses you can, because people that, but that's a different thing.
yeah.
But you know, truly wild horses, we can't get close enough to them to study what this birth control does. I mean, you know, maybe some people are willing to donate their mare, you know, their
Mhm.
time and stuff to study this hormone that they're shooting these mares with. But me personally, I will not let anybody shoot my mare with birth
Oh no,
control
it's not
unless
happening.
it is absolutely necessary, where my horse for some reason is having some major hormone problems. Then maybe, but I will not let anybody shoot my mare with birth control, because people, like females, for humans, they hate birth control. I mean, I personally hate birth control. So it's like, if why would I shoot my animals with birth control if
Right.
I hate
The side
it?
effects are
Yeah.
insane.
So it's the same thing for horses. Like, if we hate birth control for humans, why would we put a horse through that?
Yep.
Because I guarantee you, it's may not have the same side effects, but there's still going to be hundreds of side effects for these mares with birth control.
Yeah, it's just sad that,
Mm-hmm.
why is it that everybody goes after the female to stop the breeding?
Mm-hmm. The females can't produce foals on their own.
Yeah,
They
I
have
mean,
to have a stud. It's just like people. You have to have a
yeah, you
man
got to
to
have a
get a
man,
baby.
and that man can get a whole lot of women pregnant,
Yep.
but that one woman's going to be pregnant for the year.
Yep. Well, 9 months or
Nine, well,
whatever it
it's a
is.
year. I mean, freaking, it's a dang year. I had 4 kids, and by the 4th one, I was like, get it out of me.
But it's, and these BLMs also contribute to the problem with the overpopulation.
There's so many people and so many horses. The government doesn't follow up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. Everybody's out there trying to make a quick buck. You get a $50 horse from BLM, and then you go and take it to an auction, and woohoo!
Yeah.
You know, you just made $100. I mean, there's so many horses here locally,
Mm-hmm.
and we're all saying no. And there's 2 other large rescues out here. I won't name them, but they're turning away horses,
Mm-hmm.
and they also have surrender fees. I don't have a surrender fee. I feel that if you can't care for your horse, why am I going to charge you
Mm-hmm.
to give me your horse? But I don't know.
But
Maybe,
again, they're all full.
yeah,
They no rescue, like even down in Phoenix. There's a bunch of rescues down in Phoenix, but every single one of them is full. 100%, unless it's like a dire emergency where, like, the horses you're getting in, for
yes,
instance,
yep.
you know, if someone comes across horses that just are skin and bones, their feet are awful, like there's no feed, no water, no shelter, blah blah blah, you know, unless it's a dire emergency, these rescues are full. There's nowhere for these horses to go.
And a lot of time too, livestock won't step in because they don't want to absorb it either.
Mm-hmm.
And if they see hay on the property, but the horses are skinny,
Mm-hmm.
there's food available, so they won't come after you. Something has to give. We need to offer low cost euthanization, or heaven forbid, we open up a humane facility, USDA plant in the United States that horses can be brought to. And if you bring a horse that looks like crap, you need to be fined.
Mm-hmm.
But the horses, if, I mean, for dog food, I don't know. It just has to all be humane.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And that's the sad part, is like, people, when people think or hear of euthanasia, they think, or whatever, slaughter, dog food, whatever you want to call it, they think, oh my god, you're a horrible human being. But it's, would you rather have a horse starve to death,
yeah,
or would you rather humanely euthanize it? Because again, putting them down is more humane than letting them starve to death.
yes,
I mean, would you, like, want to have starved to death?
no, I don't like being hungry.
Would you rather humanely be, as weird as it sounds, would you rather be humanely put down, or do you want to starve to death?
Well, I don't know if I want to be put down, but I want to be saved.
Well,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
get
but
the
I mean, I don't
concept.
want to starve to death. If I'm out there and I'm starving to death, I'd probably want to end it myself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to starve to death. That's a terrible way to go.
Mhm.
Your body eats itself.
Mhm.
And
I guarantee that's how horses are too, because if they have no food, where else are they going to get their food?
yeah, it's sad.
And especially with how expensive feed is nowadays, like, you know, for you example, how much are you spending on feed a week with all these horses?
So right now, just hay is costing me about $700 a week. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not being paid for by donations
Mhm.
because we really don't get no donations. We did receive some recently, but that's for the 4 horses that are coming in. We aren't surviving on donations. We aren't surviving on grants. We're applying for grants, and
Mhm.
hopefully we will learn around Labor Day and November. Several of them that I applied for will let me know if we get them. One is an infrastructure grant, so please cross your fingers. If I can get that riding arena done, we can start doing lessons for the underserved people of Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
But my husband is a godsend. His job alone covers everything on this farm. He is a pipe fitter. He works for the union. He's based out of Iowa, although we have a residence in Arizona. He's currently in Iowa, working at a plant that's being built. He's helping build America, and he's also helping save America's horses.
Mm-hmm. But like it's the with the Safe Act with horses, it's the same situation with dogs. People are so against all these backyard breeders, and everyone's like, there's too many dogs, you know, which is true. You know, there's so many
I have
stray
13.
dogs. Yeah,
I have 13
because
freaking dogs.
people keep dumping them, and but
I'm a horse rescue.
yeah,
Stop dumping your dogs here.
but
Okay.
it's like there's so many dogs out there in the world because people don't want to humanely euthanize them. But and you know, we talked about at the beginning of the video, which I didn't know this, but there is a law that prohibits dogs and cats for slaughter for human consumption. So it's the same situation that's happening now with dogs is going to happen to horses. There's going to be so many, and I guarantee you the population of stray horses and just horses being loose all the time is
people are just gonna let them go.
It's double, because people don't realize how much it takes to take care of horses. It takes so much time, effort, money. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
And with how expensive everything is nowadays, I mean, the every time I go to the grocery store, even if I go, which I'm bad about getting more stuff than I should, but even if I go just to get stuff that I need for the house, whether it's food, cleaning supplies, like whatever, I can't leave the grocery store without spending over $100.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
So
and then your basket's not even full.
So if people start taking in these horses that because they can't be shipped and don't realize how expensive it is, they're just going to let them go.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
sad
what's happening
part.
in Heber.
And that's what's been happening in Heber for a long time, ever since that Rodeo Chediskai fire. Thank you for joining us on our coffee edition.
Happy hump day.